Good evening. Welcome to Current Affairs. You must have heard about an institution by name Lokayukta. In almost all the states in the country, this institution has been established. So this happened after the recommendations that are given by First Administrative Reforms Commission, which was headed by Morarji Desai. So this happened long back. And of course, so many states have established the concept of Lokayukta. But kindly remember that Lokayukta is not a constitutional body. It was made as a statutory body in almost all the states. But very frequently, this office called Lokayukta is very much there in the news because of various reasons. So the corruption cases that are related to the politicians or the higher level administrators at the state level can be challenged before the Lokayukta. And the work of the Lokayukta is that the Lokayukta will investigate, it will look into the cases, and finally, it will submit the report to the governor of the state. And after that, governor will place the report of Lokayukta before the state legislature. Ultimately, the report of Lokayukta will be discussed in the state legislature, and the government is expected to take the action against the people who have been fingered out by the Lokayukta. So, of course, this institution was very much there in the news in various states because of various reasons. So, whenever we talk about that state, if there is a concept of Lokayukta, I'll tell you. But otherwise, today there is a state by name Karnataka. Karnataka, and in Karnataka, this Lokayukta came into the limelight. So, this is not because the Lokayukta has inducted someone, but otherwise, the Lokayukta himself has been charged. Lokayukta himself has been charged in the so-called in Karnataka. So, what exactly happened? So, in Karnataka, the Lokayukta, his son, he started speaking to the government officials and started threatening them. So, Lokayukta is going to file a case against you, and your disproportionate assets have come into the picture. And this person has started taking the money from those government officials. But how long it will continue? It one day or the other, so the information has to come out. And finally, the son of the concerned Lokayukta has been caught. And later, the investigation, the charges have been framed against the concerned Lokayukta also. That's the reason why that Lokayukta is very much there in the news, and it happened. And the name of the Lokayukta was Y. Bhaskar Rao. And because of this person, it is very much there in the news. So, depending on this one, there may be a possibility of a question in any examination. Clear? Now, I'll show you that question. Now, you know the answer. You know the name of the concerned person. I'll just show it to you. You may please have a look. Look at this. Which of the following states former Lokayukta was charge sheeted as an accused in a corruption case, which is first of its kind in the country? Which is the first of its kind in the country, right? Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and the answer is Karnataka. I am going further. Answer is D. Kindly remember, it was Y. Bhaskar Rao. See, initially, so when the charges have been leveled against him, so he rejected all the allegations. There is nothing like any sort of that, this extorting money from the so-called the government officials. But later, his son has been, this arrested, and there was a pressure on this Lokayukta Y. Bhaskar Rao to submit the resignation. But he was adamant and he did not submit the resignation letter during that time. But later, what happened? Karnataka legislature has taken it very seriously, and they have started a process of removing Lokayukta. they started a process of removing Lokayukta, and all political parties have supported this. That's the reason why, had they initiated the procedure, the removal could have been it was so easy for the legislature. But by looking at the whole scenario, then Lokayukta, why Bhaskar Rao has submitted the resignation letters. That's the reason why in the question I have shown you as the former Lokayukta. Meaning is simple: certain offices are created to fight against the corruption. Certain offices are created to fight against the corruption, and the people who are holding that important positions, if they themselves are corrupt, then what happens? Clear? So that is the reason why it is not just creating an institution, but the people who are holding that particular office is also very, very important. Am I clear? So because of this reason, I had to discuss regarding Lokayukta with you. Next, once again, I'll open the document. Look at this. Who of the following has been appointed as a brand ambassador for MA? MAA. It's an abbreviation. It stands for Mother's Absolute Affection. MA stands for Mother's Absolute Affection. Very, very important program, in fact. And now the point is that who has been appointed as the brand ambassador for Ma. Okay, kindly remember Mother's Absolute Affection. So you can look at all the names. All the names are very much familiar to you, right? These are all the cinema actors. And first one is the Hema Malini, you must be knowing. Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Sushmita Sen, Madhuri Dixit. Everyone is a very, very famous actor. Clear? Kindly remember this MA stands for Mother's Absolute Affection. Right? Now, so the point is that, so what exactly is the purpose? Right? What exactly is the purpose? And of course, let me tell you the answer also. Answer is Madhuri Dixit has been appointed as the brand ambassador for this. See, in various classes, I was talking about the importance of mother milk to the child. So that is called breastfeeding. But unfortunately, because of the various reasons, so many mothers are not in a position to, give the milk to their babies. And of course, so many these suspicions are there. So many doubts are there. What will happen if the mother milk is fed to the infant at the early these hours? And of course, if the infant is given mother milk in the first hour itself, that is considered to be the beginning of the giving nutritious food to the infant. And of course, I was talking to you these points early in the earlier classes also. Like I was telling you that for the first 6 to 8 months, the infant has to be given only the mother milk. Clear, the baby, the infant has to be breastfed. So this is the basic concept. Even the water need not be given. And after 6 to 8 months, on the advice of the doctors, so you can start this giving the other food also, other food. And this breastfeeding has to be continued for at least for a period of 2 years. So that is going to develop lots of immunity in the child. Nowadays, if you look at most of the children, so they are not they have the deficiency, right? That there is a deficiency and the immunity is not there. Immunity is coming down, unfortunately. Clear, the one reason is that they are not being breastfed. Clear? And of course, different concepts are there for that one. And today, and of course, UNICEF is also working on the same concept, so that creating an awareness among the people about the importance of giving mother milk to the infants. And this is the same program, and this particular program that is called Ma. And Madhuri Dixit has been appointed as a brand ambassador for this important program. Now, some people will ask me, why the government will pick up the this cinema starts, right? So maybe for major programs, the government will pick up the cinema stars. The reason is because so they have the charisma, so they have the lots of charisma, and with that one, the people will look at the news advertisements, and people will listen. The people will listen if some actor is speaking something, and if that actor is a very this a famous actor, it becomes easy for the government to spread the message. So that is the reason why the most famous people in the cinema field or in the sports field, they will be taken up. They will be taken up for the purpose of the advertisement. Am I clear? Now, once again, let me open the document. Kindly look at the screen. Okay. Who of the following has been appointed as the brand ambassador for Ma? It stands for Mother's Absolute Affection. Answer is D. That is Madhuri Dixit. Clear? Look at this. Ma stands for Mother's Absolute Affection. She is the brand ambassador of this campaign, which is an intensified program for the promotion of breastfeeding along with the UNICEF India. Clear? Now, so I'll just show you one more question because it is very much there in the news today. So now the question is that which of the following is or the classical languages? You can just have a look at this. Right? Which of the following is are the classical languages? Right. Now, so let me tell you about this concept. If you look at the Constitution of India, in the eighth schedule, 22 languages have been mentioned, and they are the so-called the official languages. So, but when I'm talking about the classical language, it's a recent phenomenon that has come into the picture in the year 2004. So during that time, this Tamil was recognized, and Tamil was accorded the status of the classical language. So here I am talking about the ancient languages. So right, so what is the criteria? How do you decide whether it's a classical language or not? I'll tell you. So the Ministry of Culture, it has come out with certain guidelines. And when it comes to this classical languages, so far 6 languages have been accorded with the status of the classical language. First one being this Tamil, followed by Sanskrit, followed by Kannada, followed by Telugu, followed by Malayalam, and the latest one being the so-called Odia. Right? So it was called Oriya. Now I am using the word Odia. So these are the 6 classical languages. Right? So, but why I am talking to you regarding this now? First of all, I want you to remember this one, very frequently asked questions. So what are the languages here? One is the Tamil, second one is the Sanskrit, Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, and the latest one is being the Odia. Okay, that's the point number one. But why I am talking to you regarding this classical language is that in the year 2009, some people, a person by name Mr. Gandhi, he approached this Madras High Court. He approached Madras High Court and he filed a petition that how come this Kannada and Telugu have been provided with the status of the classical language. So please nullify their status as the classical language. That is the number one petition. And number two petition later, he also submitted another petition for cancelling the position, for cancelling the classical language status even for Malayalam and Odia. And since 2009, the 2 languages, and in the recent past, another 2 languages, these cases are pending with the so-called Madras High Court. Today, this morning, Madras High Court has given the statement saying that, it has given the judgment saying that Telugu has, the language Telugu has every eligibility to be declared as a classical language. right? So the case that is pending in the court since the year 2009, clear, the Andhra Pradesh government and Telangana government, they made the court to hear their arguments, and finally court got convinced. High Court, Madras High Court got convinced, and the judgment came in favor of the Telugu speaking states. Clear, that is the reason why. So this is very much there in the news. Hence, in any question, in any examination, it may be asked as a question. Am I clear? But how do you decide a language as a classical language? No, before that, let me tell you how many languages have been accorded with the status of classical language. Answer is 6. Which is the first one? Tamil is the first one, and the latest is being Odia. Odia. Am I clear? Right? So now, so you know all the 6 languages. I'll repeat: Tamil, Sanskrit, Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, and the so-called Odia. Clear? Now you know the 6 languages. Now I'll show you the document. You can answer this question on your own now. Which of the following are classical languages? Tamil, Sanskrit, Bodo. Bodo is not, so option A is wrong. Gujarat, Marathi, Odia. No. Gujarat and Marathi are not, only Odia. Clear here? Last year it happened, in fact. With respect to Marathi, the central government was almost ready to provide the status of classical language to Marathi, but somehow even today also it is pending. Right? So B is not the answer. Kannada, Malayalam, Telugu. Yes, it should be the answer because all the 3 languages are the classical languages. D, Maithili, Santali, Konkani. No. So option C should be the answers. Okay, option C should be the answer. You may please have a look at this. Right? Now, but how do you decide a language as this? And see here, one second. I would like to say something. Before I go further, let me just say one point regarding GST. And of course, regarding GST, I'll speak to you more points tomorrow. Definitely, I'll speak to you with respect to GST and the 122nd constitutional amendment that has been passed by the Rajya Sabha with certain modifications. Again, it came back to Lok Sabha today, and just just 1 hour back, it has been accepted by the so-called the Lok Sabha. Meaning is simple. Now this particular GST, the constitutional amendment bill 122nd, that has been accepted by both the houses of the parliament with a special majority, meaning the first major step has been completed. And this will pave the way for going for the central GST, state GST, integrated GST. So many things are there. Now so many things will come into picture. So from here, the bill will be going to the so-called the state legislatures. And since this particular amendment is related to the federal concept, it has to be accepted by not less than half of the states. Then it will go to the President of India, and President of India will sign it, and he cannot send back the bill for reconsideration, and it will become an act. Later, the additional bills will be introduced, and the additional bills will be passed. Clear? Meaning is simple. The first major step has been completed, which is a long pending thing. But what will happen if the GST will be implemented? Those things I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. Definitely I'll speak to you with respect to this. I just wanted to update this one with you. And kindly remember, this is the 122nd constitutional amendment bill. Right? Now, let me come back to this. Right. Look at this. Tamil, Sanskrit, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, and Odia. These are the classical languages. Look at this. What is a classical language? High antiquity of its early texts or recorded history over a period of 1500 to 2000 years. So meaning it should have a very, very long history. A body of ancient literature which is considered available I'm sorry, considered a valuable heritage by generations of speakers. Important. The literary tradition be original and not borrowed from another speech community. Important. That should be original one. That should not have been borrowed from some other speech community. The classical language and literature being distinct from the modern. So, whatever the classical language you are speaking about, that should be very much distinct from the latest language, the modern language. There may also be a discontinuity between the classical language and its later forms or its offshoots. Clear? So, right, if any language falls under this category, under these categories, that that particular language will be provided or accorded with the status of the classical language. For this reason, what happens to that particular state government, central government will allocate funds to work more on that classical language. The more is the older the language, more is the historical information we can get it. That is the reason why funds will be allocated by the central government, and that will be given to the states, and the concerned states must spend the money only on that one and work more and to extract more history. That is the basic idea. Clear? Am I clear? And one more thing, but how do you decide first of all? Because, right, I have told you the criteria for declaring a language as a classical language. Now, the onus lies on the state government to prove that their language is an ancient language. Clear? So, depending on that one, central government will decide. Am I clear? So, for how many are there? Six classical languages are there, and today Telugu has been cleared. Remaining all are there pending in the so-called. Of course, even today also I can say all the six languages are enjoying the status. Clear, enjoying the status of the classical languages. They are getting the funds from the central government and they are being utilized for the same purpose. But the case is still pending, except Telugu. Today Telugu has been cleared off. Am I clear? So that's all for today. I'll stop at this stage and I'll see you tomorrow with more information on GST. So thank you so much for being with me this evening, and I wish you all a very, very good luck. Thank you. Good night.